Right now, at this exact moment, if one thing had never happened, you would still be covered in coarse body hair. You'd have a jaw built for hours of chewing raw meat and tough plant fiber. Your skull would hold a brain less than a third the size it is today. You wouldn't be watching this video. You wouldn't have the neurons to process it. All of that traces back to one discovery: fire. Here's the theory scientists call the cooking hypothesis, and it comes down to something surprisingly simple. Cooked food gives you more usable energy than raw food, for the exact same amount of chewing, and that extra energy may be exactly what built the human brain. Without it, there's no guarantee language ever develops, no guarantee tools ever go beyond a sharpened rock, no agriculture, no cities, no civilization, and depending on which anthropologist you ask, maybe not even a species smart enough to ask, what if? Stick around, because by the end, we're going to ask an even stranger question. If humans never got there, does something else eventually take our place? To understand what's at stake, you have to understand just how expensive a brain actually is. Your brain makes up roughly 2.5% of your body weight, but it burns through about 20% of your resting energy budget. Pound for pound, it's the most metabolically expensive organ you own. Every large primate faces the same problem. Brains and guts both cost enormous amounts of energy to run, and a body only has so much energy to go around. Researchers Leslie Aiello and Peter Wheeler proposed a name for this trade-off: the expensive tissue hypothesis. In their model, the human gut is smaller than you'd expect for a primate our size, and that gap is what freed up the energy budget for a larger brain. Something had to shrink the digestive system's workload to pay for it. Anthropologist Richard Wrangham took that idea further with his cooking hypothesis. His argument: cooking is what did the paying. Heat breaks down tough fibers and proteins before food ever reaches your stomach, meaning your body extracts far more calories from a cooked yam or a cooked piece of meat than a raw one. Chimpanzees, our closest living relatives, spend 4 to 7 hours a day just chewing raw food. Cooking could have handed early humans that time back, along with a calorie surplus large enough to fund a bigger brain. Without fire, there's no cooking. Without cooking, that surplus may never exist. And the fossil record shows exactly how much was riding on it. Cranial capacity grew from somewhere around 400 to 500 cubic centimeters in early Australopithecines to roughly 1,400 cubic centimeters in modern humans, nearly triple the size. It's worth saying clearly, this is a leading theory, not a settled fact. Some researchers argue raw, energy-dense foods like marrow and organ meat could explain much of that brain growth on their own, fire or no fire. But in this scenario, we're following the version of history where fire is the missing piece, because without it, that line on the brain size graph may simply never rise. Now, follow that smaller brain forward. A brain that plateaus at a fraction of its actual size doesn't just mean less raw intelligence, it means the entire staircase built on top of it never gets laid down. Complex tool use demands planning and understanding cause and effect over time. Language demands working memory most other primates don't have. Large cooperative social groups demand tracking dozens of relationships and reputations at once. Every one of those traits is downstream of the same energy budget that cooking may have unlocked. Take away the fire, and you take away the fuel for every rung of that ladder. You don't get a slightly slower version of human history. You get a hard ceiling. That ceiling would touch almost everything else we take for granted. Agriculture depends on fire nearly as much as cooking does. Early farmers used it to clear land, and cooking is what made grains like wheat and rice worth cultivating at scale in the first place. No agriculture means no food surplus. No food surplus means no permanent settlements, because you can't build a city around a diet that requires everyone to forage all day just to survive. No settlements means no specialized labor. No specialized labor means no metallurgy. You can't smelt metal without controlled, sustained heat far beyond anything small, scattered bands would organize. No writing, because writing emerges from large, settled populations with the surplus and the free time to develop it. Roll that forward across 2 million years, and you get bands of small-brained hominids spread thin across the landscape, permanently capped at a hunter-gatherer existence, with nothing resembling civilization ever emerging. So here's the question worth sitting with. If our branch of the evolutionary tree never got there, would evolution simply try again somewhere else? Some researchers point to other big-brained tool-using animals as candidates, chimpanzees and other great apes who already use simple tools. Crows and ravens, some of which can solve multi-step puzzles and plan ahead. Or octopuses, which show remarkable problem-solving despite an entirely different kind of nervous system. None of them show any sign of controlling fire on their own. Fire may be a genuinely rare accident of history, a resource that just happened to be within reach of a species that also happened to have the right hands and the right social structure to use it. It's entirely possible that without that one accident, no species on Earth ever crosses the threshold into civilization at all. Every part of your life, the device you're watching this on, the language you're thinking in, the fact that a species evolved that can even ask, "What if?" traces back to one early hominid controlling one small flame.